Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel.
Higher, higher, fly about the valley.
If you're new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know who you are. This is only my third video, but my channel is all about God, goals, and just living life His way. And so I practice this thing called 1% better every day. And I'm just striving to get 1% better and to be who He called me to be, even at 18 years old. So this video is going to be like a part 2 to my last video where I talked about how my business helped me to grow my relationship with God and how He taught me different things through my business. Now we're going to talk about how I started my business at 14 years old. This backstory makes sense. We're going to talk a little bit about like my childhood and growing up. So I'll say let's start at middle school. In middle school is when I really started to notice that, like my shirt says, I was different. I didn't necessarily fit in a lot of the things that my peers, like my friends at the time, wanted to do. I was like, something about that don't sit right with me. But like at the time, I wasn't as mature as I am now. So I would cry to God and be like, how come I can't make friends like everyone else? How come I don't have the same friendships that they did at the time? Like they could go do this with their friends, like their friends could back them up and do whatever. And I felt like I was just alone in a sense because I was trying to do what was right, even though I didn't really understand why I was trying to do what was right. And so in middle school is when I started to build my relationship up with God. I grew up in church. I've always been a church girl, but at that time is when I started to get a real relationship for myself with God. And so I'll say probably like 7th grade is when I started to spend more time in my word and spend more time with Him. And like it started to make sense that I really do not fit in. And I struggled with it at first. I was like, God, like, I want some friends. Like, what's going on? But even though I felt that way, I still kept pressing and like trying to build my relationship with God. And little did I know He was preparing me for where I'm at now. So I was like losing my friends and stuff. And I was like, God, what's going on? Like, I know that you love me. I know that you called me. But I didn't know that like being different felt this way. So I've always been into entrepreneurship. I was the kid that was selling snacks out of her lunchbox. I was the kid that had a lemonade stand outside. Like I was gonna make that money. That was me. So I was sitting in the cafeteria my 8th grade year of middle school, and I'm just scrolling on my phone, and the thought of starting a lip gloss brand pops into my mind. And I was like, that is the dopest thing ever. Like, yo. So I text my mom and I was like, Mommy, like, I just had this idea. I want to do it like this. Like, literally, I texted her like screenshots of pictures that I wanted and how I wanted to do it. And a year went by and she was just like, well, you figure out the product, you figure out what you want to sell, and we'll work together to build the business up. And so one day when she was praying, she heard the name of the brand, and that's where the name Rare Breed Cosmetics came from. And it was so fitting because, like I just explained to y'all, I've always been different. I've always been like the one that tried to honor God. Even at 11 years old, I was trying to honor God, and that's always been my heart. And so it was fitting, like in a world where people try to fit in, be the one that chose to stand out. So that was the mission behind the brand. That's what God gave us the idea to do. So I started off with lip gloss, and I remember doing research. I still have some of my journals, like to this day, where I wrote down like the ingredients I was gonna need to make lip gloss and like how much I wanted to sell it for and different stuff like that. And mind you, I'm like 13 at this time, 14, something like that. So I'm 14 years old and I now have a few products that I came up with. They're like these, I started off with squeeze tubes. So I started off with my lip glosses and squeeze tubes like as practice. And so as my parents started to see I was more serious, we got real lip gloss tubes. I'll insert pictures here so y'all can see. But we got real lip gloss tubes, and I had my very first photo shoot. And so we booked like a studio shoot, and we did the pictures, and I got my own branding set up and stuff like that. And I just wanted to get these lip glosses out, and for it to be my very first business. I didn't know it was gonna move like how it's moving now. I didn't know it was gonna get here. But 14 years old, and I launched my very first brand December 1st of 2019. And in the beginning, it was all just like about lip glosses. It was just like the name had a meaning behind it, but I wasn't really pushing the meaning of the brand. And so it was just all about the lip glosses. It was like, oh, that's cute, she's selling gloss. But as time started to progress, and like I started to get more into my brand, I feel like God was like telling me it's not just about the lip gloss, but this is a ministry behind it. And so I used to be really shy. Like I was really shy. Like people wasn't gonna talk in front of them. But having my brand, like it opened me up. I'm sitting here recording a YouTube video, so like it opened me up, and I would do lives on Instagram with other teen entrepreneurs. I even was in a pitch contest against a bunch of other teen entrepreneurs, and I won the contest. And so like me doing those interviews and different things like that, every time I had the opportunity to talk about God, I would bring him up. I would talk about just my life experiences. And that's when I noticed that I wanted the brand to be more than just lip gloss. And so in that, I decided to come up with apparel. This is one of my shirts. Y'all can shop it now at rarebreedcosmetics.com. But anyways, I decided to come up with apparel because I wanted to get my mission across. The mission is that it's okay to stand out and be different. It's okay to be the light in darkness. It's okay to be the one who chooses to honor God as a teenager. And that's the mission behind the brand. And so I have a shirt that says different, like this one. I have a set that says world changer. I have another shirt that says that girl with Ephesians 2:10. We are God's masterpiece. And the lip glosses, even the lip glosses have meaning behind it, so that we can know that we are his, and we have self-confidence, and we can be okay with who he made us to be. So even like my lip glosses names, resilient, winner, confidence. Like there's so many different names to build us up in God. So that's the shirt started coming around 2021. I did that for 3 years, just mainly doing my content on social media, going to different vending events. All through COVID, I was still pushing my brand. So I felt like it was just teaching me endurance and like what business life really is. It was just teaching me that like business has this ups and downs. Like you gotta, if you're really true about this, you gotta fight and stick with it. And so that's what it was teaching me. But now, flash forward to me being 18. This is where the good part comes in. So I'm 18 years old now, and my products and everything, they're still excellent. They're still 10 out of 10. But the life lessons, though, that the business has taught me is what really I enjoy. So I'm 18 years old now, and I'm to the point where I want to expand my brand. I want to grow. I want it to be known. I want it to be a household name. And so I'm working on that. But like now the brand is growing to where I'm reaching out to Boys and Girls Club for opportunities. Schools are coming and asking for the brand. I'm going to different places to where I can showcase this brand that God has given me and to let my mission be known. But not only is it about the products, I'm going to these places and I'm teaching. I'm going to these places and I'm just like letting them know about teen entrepreneurship, that it's possible to do these things as a teenager. What else is happening? I'm about to drop some new products. Like all of this is happening at 18 years old. I'm also a full-time college student, so I'm working on all of these things. I got my first office. Like all of these things are happening. But next Friday, I'm gonna bring you guys along. I have a speaking engagement at a high school where I live, and I'm just gonna go there for an hour and talk to their girls about teen entrepreneurship and how to build your own business as a teenager. So many doors have just been opening, so many opportunities have been coming my way, and I'm just really grateful. Like, to think that this all started from a little girl who was selling lemonade outside to now having her own brand. And I just want to walk y'all through the journey. So I have 3 business tips that I want to give to y'all. The first one is, I've said it before and I'll say it until y'all get it. Do not do business without God. I keep saying it, but I said in my last video, heaven is the limit. And if we know the one who holds tomorrow, if we know the one who has these people, like the people of the world, he has their hearts in his hands. He's the one that gives us the power to make wealth. And so if we know him, and we know that all things are possible with God, then it makes the business journey so much easier. Why would we not want to partner with the God of heaven and earth in something? Like, it just makes it 10 times greater when we add him to it. And then all the weight isn't on you. The weight, the finances, the how to, the where, the people, all belong to him. I'm just a vessel. You're the one that has to figure it out. So don't do business without God. That's my first tip. The second one is, I'm looking at my notes, y'all, but don't give up when it seems like you're not seeing results. I feel like as teenagers, it's easy to just be like, oh, well, I have time, like I can start this, and then if I don't see results, maybe then I'll just start something else up. But if you think about it, yes, we're teenagers, but that's also creating habits. It's also creating something in your brain that tells you, if this doesn't work out, then I quit and I start something else. And so we're not starting with that mentality, yeah, even at a young age. We start and we finish what we start. And so if you don't feel like you're seeing results, Rome wasn't built in a night. Rome wasn't built in a day. Like, we don't quit when things get hard. We sit through and we endure. And there's Bible scriptures that I go and read and remind myself when I feel this way. But one of them that specifically stands out to me, I think it's in James, and it says, count it all joy when your faith is being tested, for we know that God is building our endurance up. How can your endurance have the chance to be built up if you don't go through anything? How can your endurance have the chance to grow if you don't have those times where you feel like your business isn't working out? How do you have the endurance to be able to handle those big time opportunities when you couldn't be faithful in little opportunities, when you couldn't be faithful when you had 2 orders? How do you expect yourself to get there, to get to the Apple level? How do you expect yourself to get to the Nike level, to the Jordan level, if you couldn't be faithful in the 2 orders? So that's my second one. And then the third one kind of goes with the second one, but come in with a winning mindset. Come into business with, there are no plan B's. If God told me to do it, then I believe he's gonna back me up. If God told me to do it, then I believe it's gonna work out. Come in with the winning mindset. Something that I've been trying to like program my mind into thinking is that it doesn't take time, it takes God. And so what ordinarily might have taken people 40 years to build, what ordinarily might have taken people when they're in their mid-50s to do, it doesn't take me that long because I partner with God with it. All it needs is for him to give me his stamp of approval, and he can cause these things to happen. And so I'm coming in with the winning mindset that if heaven is backing me up, then let it be done. Like, it's about to happen. I'm coming in with a winning mindset. So those are my 3 tips that I want for y'all to know when starting your own business. To never do it without God, to don't quit when you feel like it's not working, and to come in with a winning mindset. Like I said earlier, y'all can shop the brand at rarebreedcosmetics.com. I'll tag it here so y'all can get all the info. But you can also find me on all social media platforms at rarebreed_cosmetics. And if you made it this far in the video, I love and appreciate you so much. And I'm so thankful that I'm able to build my new platform on this YouTube channel, and I can call y'all family and we can build together. I love and appreciate y'all. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.